Grabbed a water. Are you excited for the weekend, Josh?
Very excited. Very
Yeah.
excited.
Any big plans?
Well, it's my son's birthday on Monday, so I think Sunday is going to
Oh,
be, a
happy
birthday day for him.
birthday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Happy birthday. Oh, that's always fun. It's fun when they're little. So my son is here right now, my 19-year-old, and I think all we made sushi at home for his birthday. Like that was that was
We're
all we
still in
did.
the we're still in the water slides phase.
So he wanted to go to Rapids with his friends for his birthday, but the weather's so bad, and that's like not a great place to go for your birthday or period in the summer if you're worried about rain because it's a long drive, and then B, they have like a terrible weather policy. Like if it rains, they're like, you too bad. Come back and pay another like $50 to be here some other time. So I was like, yeah,
That's funny.
sushi.
Not so good on the customer service side of things, it sounds
Uh,
like.
I think the reality of living in Florida, right? Having a water outdoor business in Florida, and it's, you know how hot it is here in the summer. The reality is you can't offer like refunds and things to people because you would never make a dime if you send it
Right,
the same
right.
people every single day. So, all right, what can you do? I guess we should get started, eh? Sounds
All
good.
right,
All right,
let's do it.
so fantastic. Hi, I'm Beth Hochberger, CPA, CGMA, and today I have the pleasure of having Joshua, and sorry if I wreck your name, I'm going to try to say it right way, Joshua Hadayo. Good? Uh-oh, did we freeze? We might have frozen too. Ah, all right, let's see what happened. We're having a lot of technical difficulties here today. Let me solo me. We'll see if Josh is still with us or if we lost him. Stand by, everybody. Sorry. It's been a comedy of errors today. Sorry if you're joining us, we might have to restart the whole situation. Technical difficulties, folks. That's the name of the game. All right, let's see. I have to get you added back in. Um, it says you're in the green room. No, you're back.
Here we go. Was I voted off the island? What happened?
I don't know. It's just a picture of your smiling face and nothing else was happening. So, live. I'd say live TV, but definitely not TV quality. Live internet streaming. Okay, we're gonna try this again. I'm gonna restart it, right? And I don't know. We'll laugh about it later. It's good. It's like when you go on a camp out and everything goes wrong. It's the same idea,
That's right. We can laugh about it now. It's okay. If
right?
this is the worst thing that happens to us all day, bet we're in good shape.
Yes, exactly. Okay, I'm gonna restart from the intro. So, hi, I'm Ben Hogberger, CPA, CGMA, and today I have the pleasure of having my friend Joshua Hadayu on. Josh is the founder and CEO of JEC Philanthropy. His fundraising leadership has resulted in more than $100 million of charitable donations. That's a lot. That's a big number, right? Um, what he enjoyed most during his thousands upon thousands of conversations with and about donors is uncovering what motivates each individual to give charity, clarifying what each person hopes to accomplish with their support, and determining how best to achieve these goals. Joshua formed JEC Philanthropy to share his passion for charitable giving with individuals and families who can benefit from his wealth of experience. Joshua earned an MBA at the Yale School of Management, which he attended as a Wexner Graduate Fellow. After graduation, he spent a year learning in the Pardes Institute, a native of Boston, Massachusetts. Joshua currently lives in Miami Beach, Florida, with his wife and kids. He still roots, however, for the correct sports teams. That's very important. So
Very important.
I didn't realize a couple of things, and I should preface this with Josh and I actually know each other from some of our philanthropic uh, do-gooding in the world, which is Scout. What is the name now? Scouting America, right?
Scouting
It's the current.
America, yeah.
We have changed the names a few times. I usually say formerly known as Boy Scouts of America because that's the name people generally know. Um, but I didn't realize that you were from Boston. I mean, Alex and I lived there for a number of years, went to college,
Mm.
et cetera, stayed there. So well, learn something new about people all the time. Um, okay, so part of what I was really excited to talk to you about is just in general charitable donations, right? We do a lot of stuff with charitable donations because of taxes, right? You get nice tax write-off, tax deductions, etc., for your charitable giving. So that's what was appealing to me to have you come on. So do you want to tell us a bit about your company and what you're doing and how you do it?
Sure. It's great to be here. Great to be chatting with you, Bet. What I do is I help people figure out what they want to accomplish with their charitable giving. And if they already know what they want to accomplish, then we take a look and see whether or not they're actually doing it. Because a lot of times people think they're giving to certain areas, but when you go through one by one, gift by gift, organization by organization, you realize actually that's not what they're doing. They think they're giving to certain areas, they're giving to different areas, and then we have a conversation about, well, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go from here? And it's never a matter of judgment, it's just a matter of you thought you were doing something, you're actually doing something else, and what's going to bring you the most satisfaction from your giving. And once you know what you want to accomplish, and once you accomplish more of it, then you're going to enjoy it more. And when you enjoy it more, then you're going to give more. And when you give more, you're going to accomplish more and really create this virtuous cycle. And one of the things I found is that if you don't have a charitable foundation with professional staff, which most people don't, then you're pretty much on your own. You don't really have a partner to help you sort through all of the different issues, and that can be overwhelming. You don't know where to start. Doesn't seem like fun, seems like a burden, and you just say forget it. And I think people can do so much good and accomplish so many good things and feel good doing it, and that's what I want to help people do.
That's very interesting. So I guess I never really thought about, when you're saying like people think that they want to support something, but it turns out they're not, like, I guess, putting their money where their mouth is. What does that look like? Like their the volume of like dollars that they're giving isn't in line with what they're saying they want to be? Is it needing to research more into the organizations themselves? How
Hmm.
does that look?
Sure. So in general, what happens is I do this. It's called a charitable gift review and analysis, and that's really to get people to understand what the current situation is. And as part of that, I'll say, what are your top three giving areas? And they'll say, oh, we give to, let's say, A, B, and C in equal proportions. Okay, great. And then we look at every gift over the last 30 years, and lo and behold, when you put that together based on what they're telling me, because I'm asking them, why are you making each gift? Why are you supporting this organization? When you put that all together and look at the data, well, they give a ton to a little bit to B, nothing to C, and what? D and E are also on the list. And I think it's because when people
It's
start
kind of funny.
giving a lot, they can't hold it all in their head. How can you hold 40, 50, 60 gifts, whether those gifts are $10,000 each or $50 each? You can't put that all together. And so, I had a client, we narrowed down his giving areas to three, one of which was financial literacy. He really wants to promote
Oh.
financial
Oh,
literacy.
I like that.
And
Yeah.
if you look at a 3-year period, one year, 3% of his dollars went toward this giving area. The next year, 20% went toward this giving area. And so the question is,
Mm.
did you know that was happening? If you did, and there was a reason, great. If you didn't, and you're surprised by that, and then you might not want that to be the case, okay, let's have a conversation. And it turned out to be the latter.
Gotcha. Okay. So I guess um my question then is, when you're looking at the tax point of view, there's some hurdles, right? Like anybody can give anything, right? But when you're looking at specifically for taxes, um, we have like the standard deduction. And I'll give a little briefer for anybody who doesn't quite know, how charitable donations work for your taxes. So charitable donations are considered an itemized deduction, but you get a standard deduction just for existing. It's like around 13 grand a person, right? So if you don't have enough donations, mortgage interest, real estate taxes, all these things to beat that $13,000, it's not I'm gonna say for tax purposes it's not worth it, right, for you to make that donation. But one of the tools that we like to use, and we'll tell clients, like, if you're having a blowout year and you want to really be charitable, because many people, you might not be surprised, but sometimes I'm surprised. Like, many people are like, oh, I'm having a great year. Like, can I give more? Can I, like, make a big donation this year? We'll often suggest, and you can tell me what your thoughts are on it, to set up a donor advised fund, right? Because mechanically, whatever the taxpayer puts into that fund in the year they do it, they get the charitable donation that year for their taxes. And that's why we like it. It's like, oh, we get a big tax break that year. Yay. I don't know if you have thoughts. I feel like you do from your expression. Thoughts on charitable, those, I call them DAFs, right? Donor advised funds. What are your thoughts on
Yeah,
those?
I am a huge proponent of donor advised funds. And just to say a little bit more about them, they're essentially a parking lot, right? They're a parking lot. You give the money, as you said, you get the full tax deduction in that year. And then the money sits there until you decide which organizations you want to give the money to. And so if you have a great year, or if you have some sort of wealth event, you inherit money, you sell a business, something along those lines, and you want to make a big tax, you want to get a big tax donation, put it there, and then over time you can figure out where you want it to go. And I think I agree with you 100% about this idea of using this as a way to help you even surpass the minimum deduction. And so one thing that's common is it's
Love
referred
it.
to
Love
as bunching, right?
it. Yep.
And
Yep.
so if you were going to give $10,000 in year one and $10,000 in year two, well, both years you fall short of the standard deduction. So instead,
Exactly.
think about putting $20,000 into a donor advised fund in year one. So now you've surpassed the standard deduction, and you can still give 10,000 in year one to actual charities, and you can give the second 10,000 to charities the second year. And so you're giving the same total amount,
Yes.
but you're getting a better tax break for it.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we tell people. Now, personally, what we'll do is, so our family, we actually tithe, right? We do put 10% of our income into an account, and then every other year we do the bunching. Right? We take all the standard deduction one year, itemize the next, standard one year, itemize the next. So every other year we're making that big donation into our DAF so that we can kind of drip and drab it out. I mean, maybe I need to talk to you and see if I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Like, I think I know where I put it, but maybe I really don't. Um, but no, it's such a great tax planning tool, and I love that combination of I can do good with my funds and still get a tax write-off, because it's, for me, it's the
Yeah.
name of the game. That's what we're always looking for. That's awesome.
Also, just I'll
Yeah.
just add one more thing about that in case people think otherwise. This is not a tool simply for the ultra wealthy. They're very accessible. A $5,000 is a
Yes,
common
yes.
minimum. There are some that are even lower, and the gifts that you make there are also minimums, they can be in the $50 range. And so, in addition to the tax benefits, you can also make anonymous gifts, which that's important if you ever want to do that. Also, unlike a foundation, you don't have to give out 5%. There is a 5% requirement for foundations. Right now, you don't have to give out anything. I'm hoping that's not the case. I'm not promoting not giving, but you do have the time to figure out what you want to do. And then I'll say one other thing, and that is from an organizational perspective, you don't have to hunt down receipts from 20 different organizations. You
Yes,
just
yes,
get
it's
the receipt.
amazing. It's amazing.
So your clients will make you very happy by having it all in one place. And you can also one other thing that's really important to note is you can transfer shares to the donor advised
Oh,
fund, and when you transfer shares, to make it concrete, if you bought the shares at $75 a share, and let's say they went up to $125 a share, if you sold those shares, you would pay capital gains tax on the $50, right? That the shares appreciated. If you send the shares for $125, you get the full credit for $125. So there's more money in the DAF because you're not paying taxes, and you're not paying taxes at all. So it's really a double benefit. And so funding your DAF with appreciated shares
we
is
love
a
not
really good
paying
way to go.
taxes.
What's that?
We love not paying taxes.
Right, right. And so you get to do good and you get to pay less in taxes. It's a win all around.
So, Josh, you mentioned foundations, right? And every once in a while, I have somebody who's got big big ideas for setting up private foundation, and then for the CPA and me, when I hear that, I'm just like, oh God, do you know what those tax returns are like? Can you talk about them a little? Like, who are they good for? How do they work? I think people think it's more they're getting like a DAF, and they're creating something a lot bigger. And yeah, just what are your thoughts on those?
Right. I think it's definitely worth thinking about very carefully. They're a pain in the neck in a lot of ways, right? There's a lot of paperwork, there's a lot of filing, there's a lot of work on your end if you have a foundation, or you have to hire someone to do that work. If you're going to be giving $1 million or more a year, if you're going to be setting up a lot of your own programming that you want to fund, if you want to have some expenses reasonable, related charitable expenses, you're funding a lot overseas and you want to go see those firsthand, you might be able to have the foundation pay for some of those expenses. In those cases, it's probably worth exploring with the relevant advisors. But for most people, most of the time, the donor advised fund is really going to be sufficient. It seems like it's the sexy thing to do. You get your name on it. Oh, that's great. Your friends have one. You know, call your donor advised fund the Bet Hochberger Foundation. There you go. So
Right.
you have your foundation. It's in the name, but it's really
Right,
a donor
right.
advised fund.
And it's so much easier, I think. Like you really don't do anything with those donor advised funds. Like there's no maintenance for you. You just tell them when you want to dole out money. Is there like a minimum dollar amount you think it starts to make sense to set up a private foundation? Or I mean, technically, I imagine anybody can do it, but I don't know if there's a point where it makes more sense to do that versus the DAF.
I think I think millions is probably a good place to start. Either you
Really?
want to dump that amount in, or you're going to be giving that amount a year. That's not a hard and fast rule, but I think a lot of foundations that were set up 30, 40, 50 years ago would be donor advised funds today. And there's a way to convert the foundation into a donor advised fund, which makes sense for a lot of people. If you are just using it in the way that a donor advised fund exists today to just cut checks to organizations, that's definitely worth exploring. Turning it into a donor advised fund. If you're not giving, maybe high six figures, the seven figures isn't a hard and fast rule, but there needs to be a good reason for it, and most
I agree.
people, I think, are not going to have that reason.
Yeah, yeah. I will say, as a CPA, the number of times somebody comes to me with like a private foundation tax return, I often look at them and I'm like, you're just not like it doesn't make sense. You're not giving so much. You don't have so much in assets sitting here. Like, why did you
Hmm.
create this headache for yourself? Because now you have to pay the accountant every year and you have to, file these. People don't realize most of the time if you don't work in tax, the nonprofit, because this falls into that nonprofit world, nonprofit taxes are so complicated. And you think like, well, they don't pay tax, like it should be easy. Pages and pages and pages of disclosures and things. It's a nightmare. So whenever I see those private foundations, I'm like, oh, cringing a little bit. But that's great to know. So yeah, for in general, like recap, if you're giving, you know, in the tens of thousands and less, you're probably fine with a donor advised fund. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
and even room after that. It's have the conversation, think it through, but don't rush. Don't rush into setting up a foundation. Your future self will be happy that you thought through the process and had the relevant expertise and guidance in making that decision.
I 100% agree. Okay, so we've been at this for a while. Josh, do you have any like last things that you want to talk about that I didn't ask you?
What I want to say is people, I think, underestimate how much fun and how much meaning they can find in giving back. And they also often underestimate what a tremendous difference you can make in somebody's life with a gift that's smaller than you probably think. And so, an example is I had a client who was giving a $10,000 scholarship to
Wow.
a student to help them attend school, and they did it through an organization that's based in Colorado. And the executive director of that organization wrote to me and said, "You have no idea what a difference you're making in not only this person's life, but their entire family." And when you hear that description, you probably think, oh, they must need a free ride, or the gifts must have to be $100,000. This is $10,000, which was a very generous gift, a very generous gift, and a gift that has an impact much bigger than you might imagine. I'll give another example. There's a local organization in Florida that they make sure everyone, in particular kids, has a bed to sleep on. And you'd say, a bed to sleep on for $250,
Oh,
you can make sure someone has a bed to sleep on.
that's
And
so
how much
nice
are you going
though.
to change their lives? And so I would say, get involved, think about what makes you feel good, think about what impact you want to have on the world, and then the right time to start giving is today.
Yeah,
Finish
I love
listening
it.
to this,
Love it.
go on, go make a gift, go make it could be $1,000, it could be $5. Make a gift somewhere and keep doing that. Make that a part of your regular your regular living. You'll feel great about yourself. You'll be making a difference for somebody. And imagine if everybody does that, then we'd be in a much better place.
We would. We'd be a much better society. I will tell you a quick story from my family. My grandmother would, they send you in the mail, like help someone have a Thanksgiving dinner, like all those organizations that are very local
Hmm.
and send like, the need in your neighborhood. My grandmother would take all of those and she would send them $5, whatever. She's like, let me just help, right? So I get them because I live in a house with an address, right? And they send to everybody. And I do the same thing. I get those, I bust out the DAF. I send them, $50, whatever it is that I can send right from there. And anybody who asks that needs, you're getting something, right? If there is a need, I know there's a need in the community. There's always needs. You ask me, I'm doing my part to help at least even a little bit because they're not always things that align with where I want my giving to go, but I know they are helping people that live in the community, and I'm like, you know what, we can be a good citizen. So
And I think you just said something important. You're being thoughtful about it, right? You're actually thinking about it, and you're saying, you know what, this one doesn't really align so much with what I want to do, but you know what, this one, yes, wow, they're doing great work, and that's really important. I can see the value in that. It's going to make me feel good. It's going to help the people who are on the receiving end of your support. I'm going to make a gift. That's great, and it's really that thoughtfulness. It's funny. I think that's an area where we can all improve. It's the one area of our financial lives where we say, "Nah, that's fine. That's good enough." That's no. Let's spend some time, think about it, and the results. I think people will be astounded by the results.
I agree 100%. Okay, my last question to you. Uh, and I love to throw this out at people. Do you have any like strange hobbies or like a stupid human trick or anything you can share with us?
A stupid human trick. I wish I did. I wish I did. I don't know if it's a strange hobby. I have a fun hobby. I like live music, and I was able to see the last ever Allman Brothers concert. So that was sort of
Wow,
a fun thing.
that's
And
cool.
also Black Sabbath on their last tour. So that was fun at Madison Square Garden. So those are some fun. I don't know if that's cool. It might be dad cool, as my kids say, but not real cool. Uh,
I mean, I think it's real cool, but that might be mom cool. It might not be
right,
anybody, I
exactly.
guess. We're also live music fans, so we'll have to find some common concert ground there and meet up at a concert at some point. But
All right. We'll
that's
film the
that's
next one at a
awesome.
concert. That's it. We'll do the next
There
have
we
the
go.
next conversation.
That's awesome. All right. Well, Josh, thank you so much. We're going to share info on where we can find you. Well, actually, you want to just say here, like, where can we find you if we want to get a hold of you? But we'll throw it in the descriptions also.
Sure, you can go to my website, jecphilanthropy.com, and my email, joshua at jecphilanthropy.com. I'm on LinkedIn, and my phone number's in all of those places, as is my email. I'd love to have a chat with anyone who wants to do more, do better, and have a partner help them uh, achieve more in the philanthropic realm.
That's amazing. All right. Well, thank you so much, and we will see you next time.
This has been a lot of fun,
Bye.
Ben.